Hey everyone, how you doing today? Mary Ellen Van Auken, Susan Jennings. How you doing today, Susan?
I'm doing great. How are you today, Mary
I'm
Ellen?
good, and we're the real estate ladies of North Atlanta. So we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna talk about a subdivision. We're gonna talk about Empire
Chiswick.
Chiswick.
Yeah.
Say that 10 times fast. Empire Chiswick. We're gonna talk about the top 10 secrets of selling your home for more this year. We all need that, right? More money in our
Right.
pocket. What we love about North Atlanta is the Hollywood of the South, which we'll get into about the movies being made here. And we have a design tip of the day, which is the rule of threes. So that should be interesting and exciting. So let's just dive into what we're going to do here. And let's talk about Empire Chiswick. They're new townhomes. They're in downtown Alpharetta. They're 3 stories, 2,700 square feet to 2,767. So pretty much 2,700 square feet. When it goes down to 3 to 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, and they start at $1 million, which is really interesting.
Right. And I believe some of these homes also have elevators, but don't quote me on that one exactly. But what's really cool about Chiswick is they start from $1 million, but they are located on the Alpha Loop. They are located on the corner of Thompson and Westside Parkway, just directly across from Avalon, 1 block north of Old Milton. So you're really close to exit 10 of Georgia 400 if you're commuting into the city or trying to get somewhere quickly. What's really cool about Chiswick is it has kind of an old world feel to it,
Right.
with the colors of the trim that they've picked on the homes, the type of brick that they've put on the homes. It just reflects a really interesting architectural period. And it's so close to all the shops, entertainment, restaurants, and everything that Avalon has to offer. It's just this really sweet spot between historic charm and access to downtown Alpharetta, access to Avalon, and it's just a really amazing place to live as far as the location.
Yeah, and some people don't know what is the Alpha Loop.
There are 2 loops that have been constructed in Alpharetta.
Okay.
There is actually an Alpha Loop foundation that is heading all this up, and it's been very thoughtfully designed. There's an inner loop that's a shorter loop, and then an outer loop as well. The loops, you can get from one loop to the other very, very easily. But what they've done that's really amazing in the area is they have tied the landscaping along these very wide, 6-foot wide paths that are paved. They've tied in the local and natural terrain, whether it's trees or houses or whatever it is, and the landscaping along the Alpha Loop goes with that particular area of the Alpha Loop, and it changes as you walk along the Alpha Loop. So it's always very, very interesting. There is some curated art along the Alpha Loop. There are beautiful water features along the Alpha Loop, and it does wind through, not just downtown, but the neighborhoods along Thompson Street. It goes over towards the Maxwell as well, which is an interesting area. And you can now take the Alpha Loop, underneath Westside Parkway, and you will eventually get all the way to 400, and it will eventually connect to the Greenway, I believe. And the Greenway runs north and south on the east side of 400. So it's quite extensive. People do use it extensively. You'll see people walking with children in strollers, people just taking a walk. You can ride your bicycle on it. You can roller skate on it. I know I've kind of went off on a tangent here, but anyway.
But you know what? Some of our people don't know what is the Alpha Loop. So there we go. We got the whole 9 yards on it. So let's dig into top 10 secrets to sell your home for more this year. Now, people will say, okay, it's not really a secret, or I know I'm supposed to do these things. So we're going to give you some guidance, and sometimes you need to hear it a couple of times on what you need to do to get top dollar. So a lot of the times we say a lot of the same things, but we really want to reiterate that you want top dollar, this is what you need to do.
Right.
You
And
know?
I think what happens, Mary Ellen, is people are so attached to their homes and, their home is always better than somebody else's, but they sometimes have blinders on when it comes to their own home as to the reality of things. And so that's why we like to talk about these things, because when you put your home on the market, you have to look at it through the eyes of a buyer.
Right. The buyer's paying it, and the buyer's the one making the price. We're not
Right.
really making the price. I mean, yes, we are with our expertise, but honestly, whatever a buyer is willing to pay for your house is what you're going to get.
Right, exactly. So, and it's not just putting a sign in the yard. It is a matter of stepping back and look at these 10 items that we have on the list today that we're going to talk about, and look at it through the lens of the buyer as to what would entice them to want to select your home over maybe your neighbor's home that's for sale, because sometimes it becomes a beauty contest, even in the same neighborhood, because the buyer's looking for the best home for their needs. So you've got to take into consideration these 10 things that we are going to talk about.
So number one is enhance the curb appeal.
Yes.
This is so important, and this, I think, is neglected so much. I really do feel like this one is neglected. Right. Because when you walk up to a front porch or whatever you want to call it, your front door, and there's cobwebs around and there's all kinds of things. So that's just one part of it. And then the other part is all the landscaping and power washing things so that your little sidewalk or whatever to do. Yeah. What else do you want to add to that?
Remember, I want to add to that. Remember, this is your buyer's first impression of your home.
Yes.
And first impressions cannot be changed. That's why they're called first impressions. So it's very important.
Yeah. So curb appeal, you just want to make sure that all the trees are trimmed and you have some, and I always tell people put out some really pretty flowers, depending on what time of year it is, to make it inviting for them to come into your home. Right. And just, make sure the front door is clean and the windows are clean and everything just there, because it's a first impression. Okay.
Right. Number 2 on our list today is to invest in key upgrades. Upgrades that buyers love are upgrades in the kitchen and the bathroom. Kitchens and bathrooms sell homes. I'm totally convinced of this. So if you're going to do any updates before you list your home, consider modernizing. Outdated fixtures need to go. That includes light fixtures as well. Countertops are key. People are looking for quartz countertops these days, and appliances need to appeal to buyers. So if you're going to make an investment in your kitchen, making sure all of your appliances match, that they're stainless steel, things like that. Believe it or not, it can, the simplest thing can turn a buyer off. And these are relatively inexpensive things to change out.
Yep. I agree. I don't even know. There's nothing really to add there. Just upgrade those key things, and don't over upgrade and don't do crazy stuff, because
people need to realize that you can go to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy very updated bathroom fixtures, light fixtures I'm talking about, very inexpensively anymore. And that it's a really quick change to put something that's new and fresh, in a bathroom. Even faucets, you can buy very reasonably priced faucets and get rid of some of the older dated stuff that's maybe corroded. And
you know what? I was in a house the other day with some clients, and it's funny. They're coming from the north and they're coming down here, and it was funny because they were talking about, we'll have to this driveway is not going to work because we're going to have to shovel it. I'm like, no, we don't shovel snow here. There is no snow. So anyway, she's laughing. So anyway, we were talking about it. We were in this house, and basically it was sort of updated, but they still had the old brass doorknobs on it. And we were like, oh my gosh, you could have just gone to Home Depot or Lowe's and spend a couple bucks and change these all out. It's an easy fix and would make such a difference. And it just kind of turned her off. So
the only thing you need to change out your hardware on your doors is a Phillips head screwdriver. And
Easy.
if you set a
Easy peasy.
yeah, figure out how many doors you have and do 3 doors a day or something, and you'll get through your house in a week. I mean, seriously, um, it's a lot
Yep.
easier than people think it's going to be, and it makes such a difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So number 3 is stage for success.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like when we do a consult and we'll go in and we'll say, okay, we got to take half the stuff out of this room or whatever. So we want to stage the house. Less is better. You less clutter, less everything. And we all live and show our house 2 different ways.
Right.
So coming in and seeing a not your eye, but our eyes or a stager's eyes. And Sue does a ton of staging because that's her background.
Right.
So when you hire us, we already have a stager in-house, so it's good. And we'll go through the house and we'll move things around and we'll let you know and we'll kind of go from there. But less is better. So give us some advice on staging there, Sue.
The simplest thing for you to remember are the 3 Ds of staging a home. First of all, you have to declutter it. You have to depersonalize it, and you have to deep clean it.
Yeah.
Because, if you're a collector of things, that's great, but you're moving. So pack them all up, stack your boxes in your garage or your basement or your storage room or your attic or wherever. The buyer understands a packed moving box. What they don't understand is, 100 mugs on a shelf somewhere. They also don't necessarily want to see too many plants around. So that's part of the decluttering process, especially if the plants are half dead. Trim them up, clean them up, or get them out of there. Depersonalizing is another one. Buyers want to envision themselves living in the home. Your kids, your grandkids are all great. We know they're great, but go ahead and box up all those personal photos. It's for their safety as well, that you're not showing off all your kids and your grandkids and your family members as far as showing the home. And then, of course, deep cleaning. Buyers love a squeaky clean home. They love to see really clean bathrooms, really clean kitchens, clean refrigerators, clean ovens. And they don't want to see black mold in the tile in the bathroom, things like that. So,
and they are opening up. They are opening up your refrigerator. They are opening up the oven. They're doing those things.
They open the oven.
They are.
Trust me, they do.
Yeah. And cabinets and everything else. So just make it nice. Yeah. All right. So number 4 is professional photography and videography. Okay. We're not going to go and take a picture with our iPhone or our Google phone or a Pixel and put it on the MLS. No. I mean, professional, like we have an amazing professional photographer that people are like, wow, and remember, when you list a house, really the first showing is online.
Right.
Seeing it in person is the second showing. So you want to be, the only way people are going to see a property or want a property is they're going to look at those pictures and videos and stuff that's online about the property. And then if it fits their needs, they will go see it. But if they don't like the way it looks, they're not going to waste their time or your time. So
those photos and those videos don't hide a whole lot. So it's important to have the home really ready to go before the photographer and the videographer come in and take those photos and videos.
And we do we'll do the professional videography and photography and stuff, but then we go in and we do some fun stuff with our little video and stuff. But that's more for just pushing it out so that people see it. But what's really sitting online in the listing, in the MLS, that's what's important.
Right. And I will study a home before I do the video, and I usually know the home inside and out and do that video in the first take. It's very rare that the photographer or videographer and I have to start and stop, because I get on a roll and I start talking, and some of those videos I think turn out pretty good.
Yeah, and also the flow of the house too, because sometimes there's people that can't physically go see a house. You know what I mean? They're out of town and you want to walk through it, and you want to make sure that what's out there is what it really looks like.
It's amazing the number of buyers I've had over how many years have I been doing this, Mary Ellen?
A lot. Too many.
A long time, 12 years plus, whatever it is. I can't even count anymore. But anyway, how many buyers I've had that buy a house sight unseen?
Yeah.
I've had several over the years. It's really interesting. So that's why that professional photography and the videos are very, very important.
Okay. So number 5 is improved lighting. Okay. I'm going to let you take this because you're the lighting queen.
I have a big beef about burnout light bulbs. That's a big no-no. Also, the lighting needs to all be consistent throughout the home. So check your light bulbs and make sure you don't have really cold light bulbs over here and warm light bulbs over here, and make sure that you have enough lighting throughout the home. Invest in some light bulbs and get all the same color light bulbs. Also, when you're looking at lighting, the color of the lampshade can really impact the lighting as well. If you've got a white lampshade and you've had it for years and years and years, it's yellowed. Toss it. Go to Lowe's, buy a white lampshade that is fresh and clean looking.
Right.
It will improve the lighting of the home. Also, in terms of lighting, it's not just the light bulbs, it's the window treatments on the windows. We want the blinds open or up. We want the shades up. We want the curtains opened. That has natural light is really, really important to people. I mean, people are affected by sunlight and so forth, and they want natural light in their homes. So we don't want it closed up. We want clean windows. We want to see all the light in the home.
Okay.
It makes spaces look larger too.
It does. So number 6 is declutter and depersonalize. And I think you really touched that a lot.
Right.
But you know what? Declutter your house. I mean, like you said, we don't show and live in our house, even us, even people that are very, very minimalistic. Still, you have to go through and declutter and depersonalize before you do photos, before you do showings.
Right. You're moving, so go ahead and pack up those little items. Also, when people come in, they might have children with them, and they're looking around the house to see if they want the home for their family and how their family might fit into the home. They aren't always necessarily holding the hand of the child that's with them. So if you have anything that's fragile or could break, or just looks like it might be something a small child would want to pick up and maybe unfortunately drop and break, pack those things away too.
Yes.
It's for your own sanity.
Definitely.
Trust me.
Definitely. Number 7 is boost energy efficiency. That's a good one.
Yeah. So a lot of people who maybe had a home that was built before the year 2000 or whatever have can lights in the ceiling. Some of those can lights might have, the older style hi-hat light bulbs in them. You can change those out to LED bulbs and drop your energy bill significantly. If you change out 20 or 30 of them.
Definitely.
After you install those.
Yeah, we lost you for a second, whatever you just said. It was good.
Oh, sorry about
really
that.
good stuff.
I was talking about, energy bills, the LED lights, and look at your can lights. If you can swap those out into an LED fixture, buyers notice that.
Yep.
Because it does impact the energy bill, and buyers always want to know what your utility bills are and what they can expect for a monthly payment on utility bills. So you want those bills to look as good as possible, and changing your light bulbs to LED light bulbs is a great way to lower your energy bill and make your home that much more attractive to buyers.
Okay, so number 8 is one of my favorite. Optimize the listing timing. Okay. So, most people I'll just list my house in the spring. Well, there's a lot of competition in the spring. So I would say a lot of times the best time to list your house is, I would say, November, December. Yeah. And I tell you why. Because only the serious buyers are out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that have to move, and you want to encounter that. And there's less properties on the market, so you get a higher price. So remember, we're talking about the secrets of getting top dollar. So this is one of the little secrets that we're telling you, that And another time I think is really good is right in January.
Mhm.
Don't wait till February. Don't wait till March, January.
Mary Ellen and I have had numerous closings over the years in December.
Lots.
Lots of closings in December because those, like Mary Ellen said, those are the serious buyers that are out. The competition for other homes on the market is really pretty low at that point because some people are saying, I'm going to wait till spring, which is kind of silly because that's when there's the greatest amount of competition.
Yes.
And those buyers need to move. A lot of them have children that need to get into school for the spring semester, and they want them to start off the semester right from the get-go in January. So really, listing your home like now is
November.
a fantastic time. Yeah.
It really is. It really is. And people don't realize, but it's just one of those things. November, December, January are really good months to do it.
Right.
Don't list in August when all the kids go back to school,
I
because
listed my house 2 years ago and I listed it the first week of December. It was the best because I had that home sold almost instantly.
right. So you have to just look at what, and look at the market and talk to your professional on what's going on in the market and things are selling. But honestly, I always say top dollar. And if nobody buys in November, December, that's okay. It's like you've had it on the market and all these other people are going to come on the market and you'll get it sold. So just remember, this is a strategy that works a good amount of time.
Another strategy, for getting top dollar is not overpricing your home.
Ah, yes.
Yes, you've got to be realistic about the pricing of your home. It is statistically proven that homes that are priced right from the get-go, actually end up getting more money for their home, sometimes go into multiple offers, sell faster, and end up netting more than the homes that sit on the market and have to take price reduction after price reduction after price reduction. And unfortunately, people often don't listen to us on this one. And trust me, I've seen it time and time again, where if the home were priced right from the get-go, right out of the gate, it would have been sold months ago.
Mm-hmm. And you have to look at the market every single week too, because the market does change. So one week you might be able to get one price and maybe 2 weeks later it's a different price because something came on the market and sold lower or whatever. So always looking at the market strategically every single week and pricing it competitively is always really important. So
Right.
Now we're up to number 10, which is our last secret, which I don't really think it's a secret, but honestly, you want to work with a professional, right? You don't, for sale by owners, not fun. Not fun. People be calling you, contacting you, the hassle. You have to schedule showings where you hire a professional where we make it so easy to sell a home.
So in Georgia and across the country, those of us that are licensed realtors are held to a certain standard of ethics, as well as guidelines that we have to follow. In Georgia, we use the Georgia Association of Realtor forms, which I believe are designed to protect our clients.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with a for sale by owner and you're using forms maybe that you found on the internet, you're really putting yourself at risk. And we have to adhere to a certain amount of continuing education requirements as well. We have spent hours and hours and hours in the classroom, as well as just having years and years of experience in the market. So, somebody sells a house, a couple times in a lifetime. We do this a couple times a month, every month of the year. So if that's not enough to convince you of the value that we can bring to you,
good luck.
Yes.
So I always say, good luck. Good luck. You'll be calling us saying, I need help. I need help. So anyway, so I think we talked about the top 10 secrets about getting top dollar for your home. I think we gave some good advice there. And now we're going to venture into our next segment is what we love about North Atlanta. What we really love about Atlanta in general is it's kind of like the Hollywood of the South. So why don't you explain that a little bit for us, Sue?
Yeah. So on the south side of Atlanta, there are as many, if not more, sound studios for the film industry
Mhm.
in Georgia as there are in Hollywood and Southern California. So this has become a major hub for the film industry because costs of production and housing and everything else here in Georgia are less expensive than California. And according to data from, and this is all according to data from the Los Angeles Film Office, movies have come to the area. These movies are not small movies. These are box office hits that have come to the area, and it's all thanks to like Marvel Studios and some of the other studios that have really embraced our Peach State. And parts of Black Panther, Avengers, Infinity War, Ant-Man, they were all shot in Atlanta. And what's fun here too is that you can sometimes drive around Midtown and downtown Atlanta or even Alpharetta and see film crews at work.
Yeah.
And you can watch some of the filming going on, and it's really pretty exciting. Also, if you want an extra little hobby, there are different websites and apps that you can get so that you can get bit parts or walk-on parts in some of these movies that are being made in the area. And they don't pay you much. It's like $25 a day or something like that. And you end up sitting there for a long time, but it's kind of fun to see you or a friend in one of these movies in the background.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So our design tip of the day is the rule of threes.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the rule of threes, Sue?
The rule of threes is that odd numbers are more interesting to look at than even numbers are.
So like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you don't want the eye to get overwhelmed when you're looking at a particular wall or a space. So keeping things grouped into threes and not going beyond threes actually is a very good idea. You can do them at different heights. They don't have to be in a straight line. They can be, slightly different colors, things like that. But you can work from the highest piece down. So like a triangle in effect. You're actually showing off pieces rather than just making it look like just a jumble in your home. So things don't have to compete for attention, in other words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes sense. And in groups of 3. So we're talking about don't do 1 or 5, do 3s, groups of 3s or something. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, cool. All right. So today we had fun today. We talked about let's see. We talked about the top 10 secrets to sell your home for more this year. We talked about a new townhouse subdivision in downtown Alpharetta called Chiswick.
Chiswick.
Chiswick. Say that. Chiswick. Must be English or something. Chiswick.
Yes.
Very English. And then we talked about the Hollywood of the South, which is, them filming films here. And we talked about the rule of threes. So remember, only 3. Just do not put 6 things together. Put 3, not in groups of 3. Right. So we talked about that today. So thanks for listening. Follow us on social media. Sue, have a good day. Thanks for joining in. And we'll talk with you guys soon and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.